to Freedom Journal Iraq, new visitors come to the Baghdad Zoo, and Iraqi leaders work with the coalition on special programs. These stories and more on today's FJI. Hello, I'm Air Force Sergeant Braden Smith. Welcome to this edition of Freedom Journal Iraq. Rehabilitation projects take many forms in Iraq. Senior Airman Michael Williams tells us about one such project at Baghdad's zoo, where they're welcoming 2 new striped residents.
The Baghdad Zoo has been described by troops and locals alike as one of the safest and most enjoyable places to visit in Baghdad.
Oh, there's lots of animals. They have lions, they have bears.
One kind of animal was missing, though.
The tigers, they're real signature species. You know, people really identify the beauty of the tigers, the magnificence of them, and it really highlights the zoo.
These excited veterinarians are gathered on this flight line waiting for the Baghdad Zoo's new tigers, Riley and Hope. The zoo hasn't had tigers since 2003. Getting Riley and Hope here in Baghdad has been a long process. U.S. Army and Baghdad Zoo officials, in coordination with the State Department, the USDA, and other organizations, worked with the North Carolina Animal Sanctuary, called the Conservator Center, to bring the cats to Iraq's capital. Even in the wee hours prior to the tigers' arrival, U.S. soldiers with the 2nd Brigade Special Troops Battalion planned the particulars of Riley and Hope's transportation.
Just like a giant DHL package, Riley and Hope have arrived, and the excitement is only beginning to build.
The plane opened, revealing the 2 cages.
You guys pull up and then push.
The soldiers moved in seamlessly and transferred the 2 tiger cubs off the airplane and onto a waiting transport truck. A 30-minute convoy later, Riley and Hope are finally home.
This is the first step forward to making relationships with the world. This provides the security situation is better. We will give the tigers the best care possible.
For now, Riley and Hope will enjoy the shade and wait for their grand introduction. Senior Airman Michael Williams, Baghdad.
As Operation Iraqi Freedom continues, coalition forces are focusing on working with Iraqi leaders to develop special programs. Specialist Alyssa Scott is in Mosul and shows us how.
Children are often said to be the future and the leaders of tomorrow. The 1st Battalion, 8th Infantry Regiment Civil Affairs team is spending a lot of time coordinating with local leaders in Mosul to create programs specifically for the younger community.
So in terms of trying to engage those young people and get them into positive activities such as soccer, athletics, art activities, and crafts, things along those lines. It'll give them a positive outlet, and hopefully it'll also provide more of a community feeling for a lot of those young people within their own neighborhoods.
Developing sports and arts programs with the Iraqis has implications that spreads to all aspects of Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Engaging local communities to step up and become more involved in their area. I think it'll help the economy, I think it'll help security, I think it'll help the overall appearance of their neighborhoods. It's a vital step.
Developing a successful youth soccer program in Mosul creates positive change that has potential to last a lifetime for the citizens of Iraq.
I absolutely think that by developing in soccer programs, social organizations, it's gonna create a brighter future. The thing about the U.S. military is we're only here for 7, 8, maximum of 15 months at a time, right? These people, these organizations that we're developing, they're going to be here the rest of their lives. And that, if we can influence that piece of the puzzle, we've implemented change for an entire city, province, possibly an entire nation. So that change is lifelong if we can implement that. Doesn't matter if we leave in 15 months as a unit, doesn't matter who comes in next. If we can implement that change at the grassroots level, civil leadership at the grassroots level, that'll last well past the time we leave here.
Staff Sergeant Anderstrom also said the passion for the local community motivates the Civil Affairs team to go into sector every day and work tirelessly on the many projects in which they are involved. Reporting from Mosul, Iraq, I'm Specialist Alyssa Scott.
Coming up, a dinner to celebrate some good news for agriculture.
Here's your raid report. Coalition forces captured 4 wanted men and detained 11 additional suspects during operations in central and northern Iraq. Iraqi police killed 1 special groups criminal and wounded 2 others in Baghdad. The police engaged the criminals when they came under fire from a civilian vehicle. Iraqi security forces and U.S. soldiers uncovered multiple weapons caches in the Baghdad area. The caches contained Iranian-made rockets, explosively formed projectiles, multiple mortar rounds, and bags of gunpowder. U.S. soldiers detained 4 key individuals in the Rashid district of southern Baghdad. The patrol transported the suspects to a combat outpost for questioning. And that's your raid report. I'm Senior Airman Michael Williams.
Here are the latest Operation Iraqi Freedom headlines. Prime Minister Maliki said the next stage of Operation Omens of Prosperity in Diyala will focus on beginning comprehensive reconstruction in the province. A brochure released by supporters of Muqtada al-Sadr said Jaish al-Mahdi will disarm and concentrate on providing social services. A spokesman for Sadr said small specialized cells will continue to fight U.S. forces. A proposed amendment to the provincial elections law will give lawmakers more time to debate the Kirkuk dispute and pass an election law for the rest of the country. A prominent Iraqi security official reportedly said special groups involved with Iran are preparing to launch an operation targeting a number of the military and security leaders who participated in operations in Basra. Those are your headlines from around the region. I'm Airman First Class Shaylin Jordan.
The agricultural industry continues to recover from the recent droughts plaguing Iraq. Army Sergeant Desiree Wright shows us one way the industry is bouncing back with a dinner in Mahmoudiya.
Government of Iraq and coalition forces celebrate the success of the Mahmoudiya Qada Poultry Association with a dinner in Mahmoudiya, Iraq. The chicken dinner, July 20th, marked another milestone for economic growth in Iraq.
Back here we had every tribe just about that's in the near area of Mahmoudiya. And so if you look at those speckled maps of all the different tribes, they're all here and everybody's happy because they see that the industry, which is agriculture, is coming back for Mahmoudiya.
Mahmoudiya hatcheries received 100,000 eggs in April to jumpstart the poultry industry. 95,000 chicks hatched in May and moved to local chicken farms to mature for approximately 42 days.
هذا اليوم دليل على رضا الشعب العراقي لما قدمته.
Basically, it's the confidence and the agreement from the Iraqi citizens on what the Iraqi government has provided them all along with the coalition forces. Iraqi citizens are in need for it at large.
These chickens may have seen the end of the road, but there's more ahead for the Poultry Association and for Mahmoudiya Qada.
Right now, and what will happen in the future is the association is actually taking over and taking responsibility for all the steps. They're the ones now making the plans, develop the business plan, reinvesting the money that they've earned from our initial investment, and starting to help additional farms. And from there, they'll gradually, each cycle, increase the number of farms. So eventually, you'll see as many farms as possible open up back again, get into business again, and increase the employment in the area.
Reporting from Forward Operating Base Mahmoudiya for the 3rd Brigade Combat Team, 101st Airborne Division Rakkasans, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Desiree Wright.
And that wraps up this edition of our program. Be sure to log on to mnf-iraq.com, where you can learn all about the progress coalition forces are making throughout the country. If you have story ideas, we'd love to hear them. Just email us at fji@iraq.centcom.mil. From all of us here at AFN and Freedom Journal Iraq, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.